All right, here we go. Study guide for our chapter 1. And then after this, we are done with unit 1. Isn't that exciting? Yay! So I would suggest you check I now. And if you have any zeros for unit 1, you have to give it to me by tomorrow. Or it stays a 0. Ready? I'm sorry. Am I boring you already?
Yes.
Are you not entertained?
No, I'm not entertained.
All right, so collinear means that they are on the same line. So this says which point is collinear with points A and C? B. Take a point if you said B. Let's do this, children. All right, I am suffocating. All right, number 2. Name the point of intersection of plane M and line DE. Point B. Take a point. Name a line that contains point E. Now, before we say that, how many points do you need to name a line? 2. So keep that in mind. Now let's name a line that contains point E. You could say DE. You could say BD. You could say BE. It could. You could reverse those. You could do all of that. Our points A, C, and E coplanar. Now, coplanar means that they're on the same plane. That means that they have to be in the same space. E is up here. Is E on the plane? No. So, it says explain. That means we have to use our words. E is not on plane M. Look at you go. Take a point. Did any? Because they're what? Take a point. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Did you put it before we just wrote it down? Okay, then that doesn't count. Good try, though. All right, name a plane that contains line AC. Plane M. You have to write the word plane in front of it, because otherwise M could be a point. Oh my gosh. Y'all are killing me. Go to Pottermore, take the test, see what house you're sorted into. Alright, so draw and label a figure. You should be able to do this. We did this, right? We've done this like 5 times.
I just want to do number 7.
As long as it's inside the plane, it does not matter. Did anybody draw that right? Hey, good job. Take a point for your team if you drew it right. Alright, ST intersects AB at... Yes, ma'am. That's fine. As long as it's inside the plane, that's perfect.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We put 2 of those and then put like
Of those? I don't know what that means.
the lines like this of ST and AP. Like this is just T and U.
And then what goes in the middle? P.
P. Oh, yeah, right.
Now, does it have to look exactly like this?
No.
No, it just has to cross, and it has to cross at point P. Point X is collinear with points A and B. What does collinear mean?
On the same line.
On the same line. So A, P, and X needs to be somewhere. Say it to me again. You didn't understand the next one? Okay. Are we ready for the next one? Does anybody need a moment? Yes, ma'am.
What if they have drew a plane around
Around 8 or 7?
Yeah.
I wouldn't count off, but since it doesn't say anything about a plane, you don't need it. That's a great question. All right, number 9. Name the intersection of planes O and plane N. Okay, so, wait, guys. O is in the back, correct? And N is sideways. Now, 2 planes intersect at a what?
Line.
A line, yes, take a point. So what line do these intersect at? Take a point. Breathe, it's fine. Curtis is on it. Curtis is going to do great on his test tomorrow, isn't he? Yes, he is. Hey, for the most part, we did fairly well on our first test, and this is just a continuation, so hopefully we get it together. All right, does AB, line AB, intersect point D? Why?
Because he's on the plane.
Yeah, because D is not on the line.
Because D is not on the line. Because D is not on line AB. Okay, now let's talk about something. You can't put cause or cause because a cause is something that you fight for. Because is because I tell you, and I'm educating you, so you need to use your words. No, you cannot put a B/C. No, y'all.
So easy.
No, what? Okay. All right. Now, it's yes.
You have to write 5 other letters in that word.
That's fine. As long if you, but I want you to tell me why. So if you can phrase your sentence by telling me why without using because, then that works. Don't be so lazy. Number 11. What is the length of segment AB? 1 1/2 inches. Take a point. Is it important that we put the units? Yes. Number 12. Number 12 says to find the measure of NL.
6.7 centimeters.
How did you get that?
Because I calculated by now.
Yes. Oh my God, it's like we've learned something. Take a point, children. Alright, so it's wanting you to find this. If it gives you the whole thing and part of it, subtract. 5.8 minus 2.1 equals 3.7 centimeters. Now, for the next 2 questions, Coach Hamrick told us that it would help us if we did what for our problems? If we draw it out. Okay, so should we draw out 13 and 14? Probably. Now, this says find the value of x and rs if s is between r and t. So what are the endpoints?
R and T.
Okay, let's do that first. All right. Now, where is S? Does it really matter where? It just says it's between them. Now, do our handy-dandy directions tell us where RS is? I mean, what RS is, not where it is. It tells us both. It's 2x. And does it tell us what ST is?
It's 5x plus 4.
And does it tell us what the entire thing is?
Yes, no.
Now, for 2 points, who can raise their hand and tell me, you don't even know what I'm asking yet. What is the name of the postulate? Segment addition postulate, 2 points. Yay. Okay, so segment addition postulate means we do what? Add the segments. So what are we going to add together?
2 plus
2x plus 5x plus 4 equals 32.
Oh my God, it's like we've learned something. Okay, so you add the parts together and set it equal to the whole. 2x plus 5x plus 4 equals 32. Now, remember, it asks us to find x and rs. Some of you lost points on your first test because you didn't plug it back in. So find x, plug it back in. Can you do it without me? Yes, but now let's remix time. Let's draw 14. Choo. All right, what are my endpoints of this one? Have they changed?
No, they're the same.
Okay, and what's my middle? Or what's the point in between them? Does it tell me what RS is?
Yes.
Does it tell me what ST is?
Yes.
Does it tell me what the whole thing is?
Yes.
Can you do this one without me? What's the postulate called? Take a point.
I have a question.
Okay. I don't know what words you just said.
Because 4 equals, x equals 4. So,
X does equal 4.
yes. Because I mean, you say 2x plus 5x equals 4 equals 4.
And you got 7x plus 4 equals 32. You subtracted, you got 7x equals 28. X equals 4.
Yes. And so 2 times 4 is 8 and 5.
Right. We don't draw to scale.
Wait, I kind of get it.
So if X equals 4 on number 13, what is RS?
Never mind, it's right.
Okay. All right, moving on. Let's go. We only have like 5 minutes left together, and I want to get as much done as possible. Oh, no, we have like 8 minutes left together. Awesome. When it starts cooling off, we may be able to go outside. Have class outside in the fresh air. Because heaven forbid I try to do something nice for you heifers. Nope. 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 The love is gone. All right, number 15. On the back, it says, for exercises 15 to 17, use the coordinate grid. So this says to find the distance between R and S. Do we know what the distance formula is?
Yes.
We do. So instead of y'all trying to say it to me, I'm just going to write it down.
Okay.
We're going to write the distance formula down, and then we're going to write the midpoint formula down. So distance is the square root.
Oh, I know that's x.
And okay, now on your test, a lot of you wrote this and you plugged it in correctly and you did everything down to taking the actual square root. You have to actually take the square root. You don't just get to find the numbers. You have to take the square root. That's why it says square root. Does everybody understand? Take the dang square root. All right, and then midpoint. So distance is how far you travel from one point to the other. Midpoint is the middle. Can distance ever be negative? No, exactly. So for RS, I would start by writing potatoes. I'm going to give y'all a minute to finish writing. How about that? Where's your study guide?
I left my notebook at home.
Oh, no bueno. Alright, so can you tell me what the coordinates of R are?
Negative 2 and 2.
Negative 2 and 2, take a point. Can anybody else tell me what the coordinates of S are?
5, 4, 1.
4, 1? It's okay, pumpkin. Okay, so then I need to label them X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Is it important that I label them?
Yeah.
It is very important. Your X1, Y1 goes together, X2, Y2. And then what am I going to do? Plug it in. Okay? Do y'all want a minute to plug it in? Or can you do that tonight for homework? What? Okay. All right, let's look at number 16. It says to find the midpoint of TU. Tell me what the coordinates are for T. -1, -4. And what are the coordinates for u?
Positive 2, positive 2.
And then you plug it into the midpoint formula.
Yay!
Yay! Okay. Now, 17 is a tricksy one. It's really not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw these 2 points right here. Okay, so this is M, this is U, this is S. And it tells us that U is the midpoint, and it wants us to find M. Alright, what are the coordinates of U right here? 2, 2. What are the coordinates of S? 4, 1. Okay. So the distance from U to S has to be the same as the distance from U to M. Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Okay. So how far do we travel on the x-axis from U to S? 2 units. So how far would we have to travel on the x-axis to get to M?
2.
And would we have to go to the left or to the right?
To the left.
To the left. So what's 2 minus 2?
0.
0. Alright, now let's look at our y-axis. How far do we go from 2 to 1?
1.
So we go down 1, so what would we have to do on to the left?
Go down.
Up 1.
Oh, okay.
So 2 plus 1 is? Now, if you don't get what I'm saying, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write my x-axis on top and my y-axis on bottom. So to get from 2 to 4, we increase by 2. Aw, Blair. So that means we must decrease by 2 over here. For my y, we decrease by 1. So over here we must increase by 1 because it has to balance.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I like
Thank you. 18. 18, 18, 18. Find the value of y if m is the midpoint. Okay? What does it mean if it's the midpoint? It's in the middle. That means it cuts it in.
Half.
So that means the parts are.
Equal.
So what would we do with those two?
Whoa.
That's it. That's all you have to do. And solve for y. I'm sorry? I don't. Okay. Are we ready for 19? This says a whole bunch of stuff, right? Do you think we should draw a picture? I think that would help. First, it says that the angles are complementary, correct? So what does that mean?
Equal to 90.
Equal to 90. So we need to draw a right angle. Now, what is this what is the middle angle of both angles, or the middle letter of both angles? So that means our vertex is, okay? Now, what does this tell us right here?
Angle.
It's an angle bisector, right? And what does that mean? It cuts the angle in half of angle MNQ. Does everybody see how I created my picture? I just read what it told me. Because I'm magic. Now, does it tell me what the measure of angle PNQ is? What is it? So if this is 2x plus 1, what does MNP have to be? And what would you do with those two? You would add them together and set it equal to 90. Or, since it's an angle bisector, what does that mean the angles have to equal?
90. I mean 45.
45. So what could you do with 2x plus 1?
Set it equal to 45.
I don't know why this says find the measure of MNQ if the angles are complementary. The measure of MNQ is 90. It's a silly question. Yes?
Okay, Okay, so where you put the letters, it does matter.
Say it to me again.
It matters where you put the letters.
Yes. Because it tells you that it's angle MNQ. Alright, classify each angle as right, acute, or obtuse. And then use a protractor, which... What? Acute degree. So, MPR, what do you think that is? Obtuse. MPR is obtuse. And that's going to be... Alright, so if it's obtuse, does that mean that it's going to be the top number on here or the bottom number? Because it has to be more than... Oh, potatoes. Alright, I'll put the rest of the answers up tonight. Finish it. When is your test? Have a great day. Make good choices. Be good people. Study for your test. Stop stealing my pens.